Welcome and welcome back. It's another amazing day in paradise. Now I'm ready to talk about a revolutionary act of love, I think. Let me check my notes. No. We're not going to talk about that just yet. I'm so excited to talk about that. Even though I don't have all the details about how it will happen. Well, no, you know what? I am going to talk about that. Excuse me. This is me being authentic. A revolutionary act of love is hiring me, people, individuals, the community, businesses, organizations hiring me to implement solutions to our city's most challenging problems. Y'all are thinking that the city's going to do it. And if you didn't know, I put my papers in to run for city council for the mayor so I could become the first black female mayor of Raleigh last year. Because 2 years ago, before the last election in 2022, God told me that when I was just having some issues with some of the candidates from the last election, the previous election, God was like, Raleigh doesn't need a new mayor, they need a matriarch. And I was like, are you telling me to run for mayor? I'm like, oh. And it was such a revolting concept for me, but I went through the process, and I had two people that volunteered to be treasurers, and both of them bailed on me. And so I realized that I could just apply myself. So I applied to be my own treasurer, to be under threshold. I wasn't going to do any fundraising or anything, and I did it on Thursday, October 10th, like less than a month from the election. And I ended up attending 2 candidates forums as a candidate. And what I realized is that people have all these expectations of the city, not realizing that if the city is going to implement something, they're coming back to the citizens to pay for it. And I think that was one of the 2 main things that I learned. The second thing was that I have more power as a citizen than I would have had being on city council. End of story. Now, I want to be clear about something. Because power probably isn't the best word, but it is in a way. Just go with me for a minute. George Jones is the executive director for Partners for Environmental Justice, and they do a course called the Walnut Creek Watershed Learning Network that I participated in. And George stood up in front of our class one day and said, knowledge isn't power. He said, knowledge plus resources is power. And so that's why I'm saying that as a citizen, I have more power. But I would have more power if I had the knowledge and the resources. I have people, I've connected, I have knowledge, I have plenty of that. And for the knowledge I don't have, I know people who have it. The part that I'm missing is the finances to make the changes that are needed. And so that's why I have been led to create a 3-year plan where we start high in collecting money, where y'all would be paying me to address some of the issues, including homelessness, sidewalks, leaf collection was another one. I also want to see this see the possibility of setting up a fund to create a separation allowance for our firefighters, providing upward mobility for families and individuals who are living in low-income housing or income-controlled housing, so that those affordable houses can become available to people. These are things that I would not have even thinking about except for my situation. When I went into our first shelter experience and saw that they were only going to they were only attempting to move me from one level of poverty to another, and they weren't providing me any opportunities for upward mobility, I left. And when we were required to leave there, I said I wasn't getting any help from anybody else. They weren't trauma informed. They were incredibly demeaning. In every practice, in every organization, I met people who were not supportive of this idea of upward mobility. And so that's something that I'm very passionate about. And so I'm gonna have to do a different kind of video in order to show you my plan. But my plan is to be hired by the people that y'all will trust me enough to do this work. And this is where I was kind of confused about how y'all would give me the money. But it was this week that I got the answer. And so that's also coming as to how this money will come. That is not going to land directly in my hands because I don't see myself handling money very well. I will spend it, and I will spend it for the betterment of other people, primarily because I've done it. And that's why I need you to need to do a different kind of video to show you specifically what a revolutionary act of love looks like and how it will be executed. So please stay tuned for that in the coming in the near future. But in the meantime, I want to tell you how you can be 3C with me. And I'm going to talk about that in the next video. Thanks.